While learning about Marie Curie, as well as other important women in history, it is not only important to know about their lives and remember their names, but also to recognize why their accomplishments were important and how they shaped our present and will continue to shape our future. In the late 19th century, many scientists were researching X-rays discovered in 1895 by Wilhelm Röntgen. Despite this, Marie Curie decided to instead research uranic rays discovered in 1896 by Henri Becquerel, a French physicist. Uranium, the element that emitted uranic rays, had a tendency to ionize the air around it. When something is ionized, it gains or loses an electron, giving it a charge and making it a better conductor of electricity. Using instruments her husband, Pierre Curie, had invented, Marie began research into what she expected to be a mundane phenomenon. She soon discovered that a different element, thorium, also gave off these rays and had a similar effect to the air around it. Since the phenomenon was not exclusive to uranium, uranic rays needed a new name. Marie suggested radioactivity. Radioactivity, or radioactive decay, is a process by which an unstable atom's nucleus loses energy. This energy comes from the atom breaking down, discarding pieces of itself and turning into a different element. By unearthing this process, Marie Curie had reversed two foundational principles of chemistry at the time. One, that atoms were the smallest units of matter, and two, that an element couldn't turn into another. More than this, radioactivity would open the door for many new scientific discoveries and be used in many practical applications. An example of this utilization is of X-rays, which use a type of radiation called X-rays, allowing us to discover more about the human body and diagnose many injuries non-invasively. Another use of radiation in the medical world is in chemotherapy, where certain types of radiation are used to kill tumorous cells, a discovery actually made by Marie and her husband Pierre when they found that radium, more on this element later, destroyed diseased cells faster than healthy cells. Radiation is also used in all modern communication systems, like phones, as variations in intensity of radiation are made to represent data, sound, and pixels that are displayed on a screen. Radioactive decay is also famously used in both carbon dating and radiometric dating, helping scientists tell the age of artifacts around the world. While I've only listed a couple reasons why radioactivity was an important discovery, it is hard to fathom just how groundbreaking of a finding it was. Radiation is present in our lives in every object we touch. It is the light we use to see, and even we are radioactive. Further into her research, while using pitchblende in ore uranium is found in, Marie Curie would go on to discover more distinct elements inside the ore, polonium and radium. Polonium is used for its highly intense radioactivity, useful in scientific applications such as a source for neutrons and alpha particles in experiments, as well as in non-scientific applications such as poison. Radium has no regular commercial use other than in nuclear medicine, such as chemotherapy. Arguably as important as her scientific discoveries, though, was her lasting legacy. Facing adversity everywhere she went, she kept on pursuing her goals. Being from Poland, a country not known for its scientific prowess, being a 30-year-old grad student, and being a woman in scientific fields where women were seldom heard of did not stop her. She was unable to learn at a university in her home country, so she worked for years at a chance of studying in Paris. Her first paper on her discovery of radioactivity was largely ignored at the time of its publishing, as it came from a mere grad student, and a foreigner woman graduate student at that. When it came to recognizing her work and discoveries in radioactivity, she was not mentioned in the Nobel Prize nomination letter written by French academics for the subject. Instead, she only won a share of the prize after her husband Pierre adamantly insisted that she share the honor. And even after winning her second Nobel Prize, she was denied entry into the distinguished Royal Academy of Sciences. Despite all of these obstacles in Marie's life, Marie Curie's tenacity and determination shine through all of her accomplishments. Whether it's because of her scientific discoveries in physics or chemistry, or you are inspired by her persistent and successful story, you should remember Marie Curie. She is one of the most impactful and consequential women and humans in both science and history.